Good morning. Welcome back to the Electric Bison on another fine Montana day. We're in that tunnel that I told you about that was the scene of the young fellows meeting each other before going up on the mountain here behind Helena, and one using a straw-bought weapon to kill one of the other fellows and severely wound the other two. After that happened, I was in this tunnel looking around, trying to understand what they did, why they did it. And I ran into a guy who was here with me, who was up from Portland, and he was a gang expert. And he told me that if we could find a way to improve the quality of light in this tunnel, that the quality of graffiti would go up, and consequently the likelihood of undesirable things happening in the darkness here would be less likely. So I just took him at his word, and we got some of our friends together and some materials, and put some metal chandeliers up over the lights that had been recessed between those cement girders, and dropped the lights down so they could cast their light out into the tunnel. Protected them with chandeliers so they wouldn't get broken. And I was up on the ladder installing this one that's up on the cement girder behind me. And it was a cold morning, and this young kid, I don't think he was even in high school yet, it might have been a freshman. He comes over to me and looks up at me on the ladder, and it was a cold day, so he had a hat on that had ear flaps, and had one ear flap up, and he was carrying a skateboard, and his nose was running, and he had a freckle face. He says, "What are you doing, mister?" And I said, "Well, I'm trying to improve the light in this tunnel here so that the quality of the graffiti will improve." And he says, "You mean it's okay for us to have the graffiti?" And I says, "Well, I guess so." And he goes, "Well, that's no fun." And then he left. But anyhow, the graffiti has improved a lot. And then every couple of months, it seems like it changes. People paint over it, and then other pieces of art. I call this the tunnel gallery, take its place. So I'm pretty pleased about that. There have been no murders since we did it, so that's good too, huh? But you never know. I woke up this morning kind of in a foul mood. I had gone to a couple of things have happened recently. I was at the finale of the Dutton Abbey up at the Myrna Loy Theater here we have in town with an old jail, a theater, and I was watching that in the middle of this really good movie. My cell phone went off. I thought I had figured out how to keep it quiet, and it went off, and it made a hell of a racket, and all these little old ladies and my wife were all mad at me. And oh God. Well, anyhow, I went and answered the call. It was from my grandson. I was really glad to hear from him. And then last night I went to a Democratic, the Downton Abbey movie. It was about passages, the passage of time. And I've been feeling that quite a lot lately since I finished with this surgery on my heart. It's come out well. Today will be the 100th day, and all the bones have, I think, healed, at least according to the Chinese. And it's worked out really well. I'm happy about that, and I'm thankful for it and for all the good people that I met. But that whole thing about the passage of time is not lost on me. The fact that I'm kind of all thumbs when it comes to technology is one thing, but then I went to a Democrat Central Committee meeting for the county Democrat Party last night, and I represent Precinct 2. I've tried to do that, at least, here in Helena, and I'm in Precinct 2 right now. And we just sat there and listened to the younger people talk about the state convention, which I didn't go to, that happened over the weekend. And one thing came through loud and clear, is they were all pretty pleased that younger people had been elected to all the positions of responsibility. I think it's great. I mean, I was speaker when I was 31 years old, and these folks are probably older than I was when I was speaker, so I'm going, I guess I get it, you know. But anyhow, one of them said there's not a single person in a position of responsibility except for one who's a boomer. And I'm going, a boomer? I'm a boomer. And then they said that person was born in 1964. Well, that's pretty light for a boomer. 1964 is when I graduated from high school, right? So boomers go from 1946 when I was born till I guess 1964. But I was kind of insulted, you know. It's like, well, what the hell's the matter with people like me? Well, the truth is we're old. And we need to pass, just like they said in Downton Abbey, you know, move on, pass the torch on to the younger people and hope for the best. So I guess with that in mind, I woke up this morning kind of in a foul mood, trying to sort things out. Not because of the boomer comment, that was probably deserved, but because of the shooting of that young fellow, Kirk. And, you know, I didn't even know about him. I mean, I'd heard his name in passing among Trump's, you know, supporters, but I followed it more closely now since he was killed. It was very unfortunate. And now I'm following who this young fellow, Tyler Robinson, is down there in outside of St. George, Utah, and his relationship he have with his roommate, who is transitioning from a male to a female. And I really, of course, I feel badly for Kirk's family. I mean, that'd be terrible to have the father of a young family killed like that. But it also, I feel for Tyler Robinson and his family and how it had to be difficult for the mother and the father and the friends to reel him in and get him into custody. It's very painful. I think that that's what got me waking up in a foul mood this morning, thinking about that. What do we do about that? So earlier today, I had a visit with some really good friends, and one of them's a school teacher in a college here in town, Helena College. And he was telling me how when that Kirk killing happened, all the students in his class, their phones just lit up. And then the whole class just started talking about that. And how closely tied they all were to his life and his death. And obviously, the students at the local college here are not part of the boomer generation, right? They knew about it. And I think that my thoughts now are directed toward them. You know, the schools that I went to and was fortunate to attend were designed around the industrial age when you'd get cranked out at 40 at a time or 30 at a time, and you'd go to work in an industrial setting of one kind or an office setting. I think what's happening now is people are communicating and learning in such a way that they're already in the setting they'll be making their living at. And that's pretty strange to me, the guy that couldn't silence his phone during Downton Abbey a couple nights ago. But it's a truth. And the young people, not even so young anymore, they really do have the responsibility to take us where we're going to go next. I don't know where that is. It's kind of like when we did this, improve the lighting on this tunnel, the graffiti got better. So hopefully the discussions, political discussions will get better and be more meaty, be more in tune with what the young people want, with what old guys like me need. But maybe we'll just kind of get left behind. So I guess what I'm saying is it's time to move on. I may continue to do these podcasts. I don't know. I guess it's hard for Democrats, old-time Democrats, to do these kind of things, but I don't have a problem with it. So I may continue to offer my thoughts and just hope for the best. Hope that the young people who are more proficient with these technologies will take the baton and run with it, and try to keep our country on the right track. I see younger people like that AOC, that woman over in New York. She's real capable, and she's very thoughtful. And I think if you can find persons like that, women particularly, but not necessarily women, to support your abilities on the internet and in your chat rooms, are vastly more valuable than any $25 contributions. And I think that if you find a candidate that you really feel strongly about, that can replace these 4 wastes of space we have for 2 senators and 2 congressmen here in Montana, the ones I call road agents. If you can find candidates like that to replace the non-entities, basically, that are letting Trump do whatever the hell he wants, then run with it. And I don't know exactly how you would do it, but I do know that it's possible that when we work together, when you work together, you can do great things without spending a lot of money or any money at all in these political campaigns. So you need to get off the couch or think and work while you're on the couch, I guess. And what I'm adding to this little podcast is something I did a couple of years ago with a guy named John Shea. I interviewed him in Butte before he died, and he told me how the people who were involved in building the Lady of the Rockies up high on the Saddle Rock above Butte, how they did that with hardly any resources at all, just working together. They all helped each other out. And I hope that you're open-minded enough to listen to what John had to say in his way, and then translate that into your world of cell phones and earphones, chat rooms, and get somebody elected that will get the job done in Congress the way you think it should be done. Anyhow, that's all I got to say. I hope that the 2 interviews with John Shea about the lady come through loud and clear for you. Thanks. Bye.